What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel, and today we're taking a second look at the Jumper T8SG remote control. It is the multi-protocol 2.4 gigahertz 10-channel transmitter. Now, I've already done a review on this baby, and I bound it to some of the toy quadcopters, including the Eachine E011 type quadcopters utilizing the Baiyang Toys protocol. And I've also flown the Syma X5C utilizing the Syma protocol. And also I've flown the MJX600 utilizing the MJX protocol. But today what we are going to do is bind it and fly it with some of the micro brushless quadcopters utilizing some of the hobby grade receivers. This one here is the Grasshopper 94. This one has the FrSky D8 receiver. This is the Lanchi Bluebird 85S, and this one is utilizing the DSM2 receiver. And we got the Makerfire Armor 90, and this one is utilizing the DSMX receiver. And we got the King Kong Fly Egg 100. This one is a FlySky receiver. So we're going to go ahead and bind each one of them and give it a test flight. All right, so let's go. All right, here we go. We have the Grasshopper 94 with us here. This one came with the D8 FrSky receiver. There's the bind button right here. So we're going to go ahead and bind with this baby here. But the process is going to be the same exact process with the binding with the DSM2, the DSMX, and the FlySky receiver as well. So we're just going to demonstrate how to bind with this receiver. So that'll be the same thing as binding with all of the other receivers as well. So let's go ahead and turn on the Jumper remote. The T8SG shows deviation, and it's going to show the current model selected, which is the FrSky. But let's just assume that there's no model setup and it just says none. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit that enter. Takes us into the main menu, and we're going to hit the model menu, hit enter, and in the model menu we're going to do the model setup, hit enter, and we're going to load up a model. So hit enter again, and these are the preset models that I have to choose from here. Let me go scrolling down to one. Oops, we have up to 30 models here. And number one, I have already set it up to Baiyang Toys. Number two, there's nothing near. Syma for 3, MJX, and E010. And I got the DSM2 on number 6, FrSky, AFHDS2A, which is the FlySky, and the DSMX on number 9. And that is all of the models that I have. So you're going to choose one of the models that says none on it. In the beginning, let's just assume number 7 here says none. We're going to go hit, and we have loaded number 7. So we're going to go scrolling down, and we're going to do the model name, hit enter, and you're going to go scrolling up and down and choose and type in whatever you want to type in here, and then you're going to exit out. And I've typed in FrSky. So let's go and scroll down. The icon, you're going to just leave it at default. I just left mine at default. Model type heli. And then this one is the TX power. We have up to 150 milliwatt of power. Choices. You can scroll down by scrolling up and down here from 100, 30, 10, 3, and 1, back up to 3, 10, 30, 100, and 150. I left mine at 150 milliwatts. And if you scroll down again, there's PPM in. I chose none. And here is the model that you can choose. I've got it set on FrSky already, but you can scroll left and right and choose the protocol that you want. So let's say we're looking for FrSky. There's the FrSky X, FrSky V8, and FrSky. This is the one that I want. Now the Jumper remote comes with this deviation booklet. This will show you all of the protocols that you need to know. So the one that I want for the D8 receiver is the FrSky. So I'm going to scroll down. There's the bind button. Let me go ahead and scroll more down. There's the fixed ID. You can choose the number of channels. This one supports up to 8 channels, I believe. And the mixer GUI, I have it set on advanced. So let's go back up to that bind button. and get ready to bind. And let's go ahead and put this receiver into the binding mode by holding down this button and powering this baby up at the same time. I already have it bound, so I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I'll just go through the process. So get the power cable ready to go and hit that bind button, hold it down, and power this baby up. I believe that is in the binding mode. Looks like it's already bound, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit that enter. And look at that, the light just turned off. So we have bound. And to finish it off, hit enter again. So we are bound. So I'm gonna go ahead and unplug the quadcopter here. All right, so if I plug it back on, the light should be solid. And there you go, the light is solid, we are bound. So let me go ahead and exit out to the main menu, turn off the transmitter, and check on the green light. Yep, we are bound. So I'm going to turn it back on. Look at that, automatic bind just like that. That is how you bind to the receiver with the T8SG. Now, I have already set my quadcopter in Betaflight. I have the modes set up to auxiliary 1 is arming, auxiliary 2 is the modes, and auxiliary 3 is the beeper because this one has a buzzer. So we're going to go ahead and set up the auxiliary channels on the jumper remote. So let's go ahead and enter. Let me bring it in a little bit closer here. So we're going to go into the model setup or the model menu, and we are at model setup. We don't want to go into the model setup. We already set up the model. We're going to go down to the mixer, okay, and hit enter. Now this one is all of the auxiliary channels you can set up. We are set to AETR, which is correct. So each of these channels were already set up, I believe, and it is on simple. Okay, now when you go down to channel 5, it will say none. Let me show you how it should look. I'm going to go ahead and get out of, it should look like this, and I'm going to go ahead and save it. So that's how it should look. There's no channel assigned for channel 5 at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and set it up, and channel 5 is auxiliary 1. So that is my arming switch, and my arming switch, I like to have it set on this switch right here. So let's go ahead and set that up. So we're going to go ahead and enter, and we're going to scroll to where it says none, and we're going to scroll to the right, and it's going to say simple, and we're going to scroll down to right here where it says none, and we're going to set the switch. As soon as you hit this switch, the none will become this switch right here. So check it out. There you go, SWD, and is it in the 0 position? And I'm going to keep it on the 0 position right here. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and save and hit enter, and check it out. Channel 5 has become simple, and now this is the switch for channel 5. So let's go ahead and go scrolling down to channel 6, which I already have set up. So let's go ahead and hit it again. So when you get it, it's going to say none. Okay, so what you're going to do is scroll to the right, go into the simple, and scroll down to where it says SWAO, which should say none. So that is channel 6, which is auxiliary 2, which is my mode channel. So I'm going to assign this switch for the modes. So I'm going to hit this switch to the bottom position, which will recognize it. And then what I'm going to do is scroll up, and I'm going to hit enter, which will save that switch. Okay, so now I have channel 6 set on SWA. Okay, now I'm going to scroll down to channel 7, which already says simple, of course. I'm going to hit enter and go into the none. Okay, that's how it should be without anything set up. So now what you're going to do is scroll to the right, and it's going to show simple. Scroll down once again, and now I'm going to set up this switch right here for the buzzer. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this button all the way down, and now it is set on SWB in the 0 position. Okay, so I'm going to scroll up to save it, hit enter, and channel 7 has been set to SWB. All right, so let's go ahead and exit out of there, and then exit out of there. There's the transmitter menu, so let's go and check that out. Transmitter menu, go ahead and enter. And number 2 is channel monitor, so let's go ahead and hit that. Okay, so it's going to show you the mixer output right here. So I got my throttle, ATR, okay, so there you go. And all of the channels are working. Now let me go ahead and flick the switch right here. There you go. As you can see, channel 5 is moving. Okay, channel 6 and channel 7. Okay, all of them are working, so we are good to go. Let's go ahead and exit out of there all the way, and now we have everything set up and ready to go. So let's go ahead and see if this thing works. So let's go ahead and power this baby up. All right, so let's see if our arming switch works. Oops, all the way down on the throttle. Okay. I'm not showing you the switch. Okay, throttle all the way down. There you go, armed. Okay, yeah, I had my throttle kind of up like this. That doesn't work. You gotta have the throttle all the way down. This will be the modes. There you go. That is in air mode, and that is in angle mode. I don't have the switch set up to horizon. I don't have horizon, just angle and air mode, so that is great. Now this switch here is the buzzer. There you go. All right, everything is set up. So that is how you set up the receiver and bind to it with the jumper remote. And that goes with all of the other models like the DSM2. It is exactly the same thing. Hit the bind button, power up the quadcopter, send the receiver into the binding mode, and go ahead and hit that bind button after you have set up the model in your jumper. And that is exactly the same thing that goes on with the DSM-X as well. This one has a tiny receiver with that tiny bind button, and that works just as well. Same process. And this one here as well. This one I believe I have the receiver kind of tucked in underneath somewhere, inside there somewhere, so I'm not even able to get access to it. So but basically it is exactly the same. Hit the bind button and power up the quadcopter and set up the model like I just did, and hit the bind and set up your auxiliary switches and go into Betaflight and set up your modes to auxiliary 1, auxiliary 2, and auxiliary 3, and whichever sequence that you want to set it up, and whichever switch you want to assign in the auxiliary channel mixer menu. All right, so that is just about it on how to set up and get ready to go. So let's go outside on the field and test out all of these babies here. All right, so first up we have the Launchee Bluebird 85S. This one is the DSM2. I got my protocol set to DSM2. So let's go ahead and plug this baby in. And I believe that is all it takes, and we are good to go. There you go. We are bound and ready to go. No noises, nothing. It just binds just like that, guys. Check that out. And it is a fantastic way to fly your micro quadcopters with this Jumper T8 SG. I just done a review on this baby here, and it is pretty decent. Metal prop guards. I'm beginning to fly this thing indoors with this remote control, and it is fantastic indoors, guys. Awesome. It's a very nice flyer indoors. In tight quarters, you are able to maneuver around the hallways, in the kitchen and all that. So just an awesome little quadcopter, and it is awesome with this remote control as well. So there you go, the DSM2, and let's give it a landing. All right. Alright, so next up is the DSM-X, and we have the Makerfire Armor 90 with the DSM-X receiver, and we are already set and bound. Just plug it in and turn it on and choose and load up the DSM-X, and we are good to go. So let's go and check this baby out. DSM-X. There you go. Haha. Not bad, not bad. Multi-protocol. Fly just about anything. Nice, nice. And it's only $60 something for this remote control. And you are able to bind to DSM-2 and DSM-X. That alone right there is awesome, because it is very hard to find the orange RX module for your Taranis. And that thing costs about 40 bucks, that external module that I'm using. And this thing does everything, so that's fantastic. All right, so let's go ahead and bring this baby in for a landing right here, and there we go. All right, so next up is the Grasshopper 94 with the FrSky D8 receiver. So let's go ahead and turn on the remote and load up the model here, and that is the FrSky model, and click on it. And we are loaded with the FrSky. Go ahead and power this baby up. And just like that, as you can see, the receiver has the green light and is good to go. So let's go ahead and arm it. There we go. And that is the FrSky. Good controls too. It's not bad at all. And there you go, guys. The FrSky model binding and flying with the Jumper T8SG remote. And this thing is fun to fly too. This Grasshopper 94. Excellent, excellent quadcopter by Full Speed. Ooh. The bird tried to attack it. Like a hummingbird or something. Awesome, awesome. One of these days, one of my quadcopters is going to get snatched by one of those hawks or one of those type big birds, man, right out of the sky. That will be something else. And hopefully I'm doing FPV. Alright, so let's go ahead and land this baby right there. And that was the FrSky. Alright, last but not least, we have the FlySky, and we got the King Kong 110 Fly Egg. This one has the AF-HDS-2A receiver. So let's go ahead and turn on the remote. Deviation gives off a little bit of haptic feedback, and let's go ahead and load up the AF-HDS-2A. Hit that and exit out to the main page. Plug in this baby here. All right, and I believe the receiver is right up underneath of the VTX, so I'm not able to see the lights or anything. So let's go ahead and test this baby out. There we go, we are bound. There you go, FlySky version, and it works fantastic as well. Yep, multi-protocol, one remote control to fly all of the models. Save on the money, for real. I mean, it's not a bad remote control either. With good controls. Alright, so there you go, guys. The AF-HDS-2A, which is the FlySky protocol. And let's go ahead and land this baby right there. Alright, there you go. Alright, so there you have it, guys. The Jumper T8SG multi-protocol radio binds with the FrSky, binds with the FlySky, binds with the DSM-X, and also the DSM-2, and slew of other models you can bind to. I've done a review on this baby here before, and I bound it to all of the toy quadcopters like the Syma, the MJX, the Bayang Toys protocol, and they all work fantastic. It gives a lot of range. You can set it to 150 milliwatt power, and you got yourself a very, very nice remote control to power up all of your models, whatever receiver they are. And it works fantastic with these hobby grade receivers as well. All right, so there you go. That is my second review of the Jumper T8SG Multi-Protocol TX. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.